Good morning, everybody. I'll call this MPC meeting to order. I see we have a guest in our midst. We'll start with introductions. Neil, would you start us off?
Amanda Philpott, Division 8.
Good morning, Ellen Unruh, and I represent the countryside around the village of Rosemary.
Good morning, Greg Screever, Division 5.
Good morning, I'm Kelly Chrisman. I'm the chair of this portion of the MPC meeting, and I'm from the west side of the county.
Good morning.
I'll get this figured out. Good morning, Arno Dirksen. I'm from Division 9, the gym area.
Good morning, Matt Fensky, County Administrator.
Good morning, Holly Johnson, Division 4, Scandia, Rainier and Blue City.
Good morning, Nadina Scandrep, Division 2.
Good morning, Dan Short, Division 1.
Good morning, Lynette Kopp, Division 3, Patricia Millicent area.
Pam?
Pam Elliott, Admin Assistant Planning and Development.
Sandra Stanway Brooks Bolton.
And you are? Karma, thank you. Welcome to MPC. All right, excused from the meeting. We are all here, so there's no excuses. The minutes from our last Planning Commission meeting. They're in your package, dated November 18th. How do you wish to handle them? Ellen.
I'd like to move that the minutes will be adopted as presented.
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? That is carried. Any post-agenda items today? Seeing none, I'll call for an adoption of the agenda as presented. Thank you, Holly. All in favor of Holly's motion to adopt? Carried. Development permit. Our permitted use report is in the package dated November 1st to the 30th. Are there any questions on this report? Okay, seeing none. Would you like a motion at all? No, it's in our package for information. Thank you. Moving on to 7.1, Shanalee.
Good morning. Development permit 2021098 is to establish a dog and cat grooming business. The business will operate with one resident employee and no non-resident employees. Will operate for 4 days a week, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. with the expectation of 5 customers per day. There's ample off-street parking, however, there will only be one customer on the parcel at a time. The operation will involve the customer dropping off their pet for 1 hour and then picking up. There will be no vehicles or outdoor storage required for the operation. There was no issues or concerns from staff. There was no response from adjacent landowners. The Village of Dutchess has responded that they have no issues with the development and their email is attached. We are recommending approval with conditions. And Mrs. Henninger is here to answer questions.
Questions? I have a question for staff. In the email from the village, it's stating that we are referencing the old land use bylaw dated 2017. Is that in fact true? in this situation? Maria?
That's a good question. Because the lands that are being disputed are, we're a little bit unclear as to where the appeal lies, whether it's within the fringe districts alone of the land use bylaw or if it's the entire IDP area, because the statutory declaration that was submitted by Dutchess is a little bit unclear. So we are working with Dutchess and also with the lawyers to figure out exactly where the appeal lies and what lands are affected. So in this case, when the development permit application was received, we had just received the notice of appeal. So we felt that all the lands could be affected, and therefore we needed to resort back to the old land use bylaw based on direction from the Land and Property Rights Tribunal. So when an appeal happens, then that land is frozen and you have to use the old policy for that area. So this one can go either way depending on how the appeal goes. So based on Dutchess's letter, the conditions they'd like to see on this permit are based on what's written in the old land use bylaw. Instead of referencing a land use bylaw, we took the verbiage and made the conditions exactly as said in that land use bylaw, but we're not referencing either or. So this permit and the conditions will satisfy all the conditions or all the requirements of both land use bylaws. So we're staying in neutral water.
You answered my next question then, so thank you. You kind of went into it there. This is interesting. I've never seen a neighboring municipality give the total quote as to how they want us to amend or condition our permits. So that was kind of, so Carmen, was there anything you wanted to add? I see no questions of council, but maybe you have something to add? Oh, Dan.
I haven't read through everywhere, but is there provisions to have pets kept outside and while waiting to be picked up, and will there be multiple pets there? Basically what I'm looking at is there a potential to have multiple animals that are causing a noise disturbance while waiting to be picked up?
I try to do one client at a time. Previously, before moving to the county, do I have to hold this? Okay. I was here in Brooks Grooming, and so how I did it was I would have one client come. One client may have one or two dogs usually, not more than that, and they would be in the house with me and I would groom them, and then they would come pick up their dog, and then the next one would come. So I've never had them outside. It was always just sort of one at a time. If someone couldn't come and get their dog, I do have a spare kennel inside the house that they would stay in there until the owner could come and get their dog. And usually it would only be about a half an hour longer, but there would be no animals outside.
Thank you. How do you wish to handle this? Yeah, Neil.
I move we accept the application just the way it is.
As recommended?
Yes.
Thank you. Any further questions, comments? Seeing none, all in favor of the motion? That is carried. Carmen, we're open for business. Thank you for coming in today. We had no post-agenda items. Is there anything for in-camera today? No? Okay. Question period? Any questions of staff? regarding MPC business? Seeing none, I'll adjourn the meeting.